But with Prismacolor comes a lot of color for no color at all. And hello and welcome to the Lardest Podcast. Today we are joined by our co-host,
Ew.
and one of the coolest cats that you will ever meet, Sergio, the Dodo Meister.
What's up, guys?
And I am Mr. David Rono, your host. You are listening to the LA Artist Podcast, where we chat with local artists about their works, styles, what influenced them to start their artist journey, and more. Subscribe so you don't miss the latest episode. And to see bonus content, check out our website on the description below. This podcast is produced by Lorano Gallery, an LA-based gallery and studio space dedicated to showcase work from upcoming artists, as well as provide space for art shows, workshops, photo and film production. Feel free to check out the gallery at loranogallery.com.
For frozen. Yeah, it's the past tense of Febreze.
As long as it's not lemon scented.
No, it's always lilac.
Yeah.
But welcome to the podcast. It's been a minute since we've hung out and chatted. And how you been?
I'm doing all right. Just getting busy during the tax season, making sure everything's in order. So the art's been on hold for a little bit. But I'm getting back at it. The wheels are turning. So
I can dig that.
looking forward to some shows coming up in the next couple months. So.
Yes. Yeah, no, the tax season is always brutal. And for some reason, we always leave it at the last day. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the right way to do things.
Best day. The best day.
We got that fire underneath you.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I feel like last year I did them like as soon as I could. And I was like, okay, cool, easy, done. But
Yeah, but if you do it too early, you get too lazy.
Yeah, it's irresponsible, man.
Yeah. You start getting lazy about it.
Yeah, but I just got it done. But yeah, no, it is true. But yeah, because the last show we were together was one that we hosted at Smog City,
Right.
where
It's a few weeks old.
where
ago.
we hung out and we have a couple shows coming up
Mhm.
that we're gonna be in the same one, Pancakes and Booze in LA,
It's this Saturday. Yeah.
LA County Fair.
Yeah, I actually just secured a booth, so I'm going to be there throughout the month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the whole month.
The whole month.
I
We're going to be
mean,
at the LA
I
County
mean,
Fair in
that-
the horror hall. Or
Yeah,
what's it?
at the Spooks show,
Spook show. There you go. Yeah.
Expo shows of
Whatever.
spookiness. Everything's actually pretty cute and pink. Everything there
Is
is
it?
pink.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's terrifying.
That's why it's a spook show.
But
That's
no,
why it's scary.
I've been doing the county fair for the past couple of years. Jesse JFR, look him up. He's a homie, and he got us in. So yeah, I've been doing that, and I caught the itch. And I have MS. This disability doesn't allow me to work regular jobs. So it's a good way to be able to work for a month and then rest for a month and not have
Yeah.
to worry too much about like everything else.
Yeah.
You know. So if I could do that a couple times a year, I'm definitely
Yeah.
gonna have at that. So we're giving that a whirl.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, because it is a really great show, especially if you're there for the whole month. I was doing some statistics
Mm-hmm.
just because I'm a nerd, and was also trying to get a couple other artists to be part of our booth because
Mhm.
we were gonna get a 10x20 space.
Oh wow. Okay.
So we kind of want to share with a couple other artists and
Mhm.
essentially just telling them the down low of what goes on. And by I think last year's numbers were close to 37,000 people average a day.
Yeah, and that was without people knowing it was open.
Yeah,
So,
that was like the
yeah.
first year back from after COVID, and they did very little marketing,
Mm-hmm.
but it was still 37,000 people a day.
Yeah, that was pretty rad. So we would be in the esports hall all the
The
way in the
esport-
back.
yeah.
So like the very back corner of the fair. A lot of people didn't make it that way. And it was still enough for me to catch the itch. So I'm gonna be in the fire this year. So we'll see how that goes. But
Yeah.
I'm excited. There's super long days.
Ooh.
So we'll see.
14-hour days average.
Average, yeah. But
That's the only bad part.
on my end, I mean, most of it is going to be spent on my ass anyways. Part of my French, but
So,
We speak French here.
Yeah,
It's fine.
you can be bilingual or trilingual. It's fine.
Cool, cool.
Yeah. Oh,
Yo also habla
so you are so
Oh,
so we're both gonna be on the same, or we're all gonna be on the same building.
oh, nice.
Just be prepared. They play the same
Playlist
6 songs
ish.
for the 12 hours that we're gonna be there.
Yeah, it's part of the horror element.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's,
Yeah.
Make sure you
And
keep your
it's-
sanity.
Yeah.
Even the songs are pink. No.
Lemon scented.
They're all lemon scented.
I think one year our neighbor got like super like crazy because he just started just out of nowhere. He was just singing the words and it's like, oh wait, what am I doing? I'm going insane.
No, you get lost in it. You
Yeah.
get lost in it. When we were in the
Yeah.
gaming hall, they got nothing but like video game music going. And
Yeah.
you walk away and the entire day you're still hearing it in your head.
Yeah.
So you got Pac-Man going on in your head or Street Fighter going on in your head. Like it's just nonstop, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But most of those are instrumental.
They are.
Yeah,
But,
these had words in them.
well, to each their own.
I know, right? But no, but it is one of the cool events that we do. That is because normally we would stick to art shows, gallery shows,
Right.
pop-up shows, but yeah, definitely doing the LA County Fair because it's more of a trade show
It is.
atmosphere.
It is. It's a good way to get some eyes on your work, though.
Yeah.
Just like you mentioned earlier, there's so much foot traffic. Like even if you're there all day with minimal sales, like it's worth it because
Yeah.
someone will get back to you. Yeah.
Also, it's cool because it's inside.
Yeah,
That too.
Yeah, I had a. Oh, excuse me. There was a friend of mine. He did the LA County Fair, but he was outside. Oof. And it was super windy and like things kept
yeah,
falling over. and
Yeah,
all
that's
that.
one of the
Like,
nicer things,
yeah.
not having to deal with the elements.
yeah,
and then having to like, because he had a 10x10 booth, so he had to cover everything,
Mhm.
make sure that nothing is stolen or anything. But here
Right.
in the building, you just cover up a little bit, and there's always security. Like
Yeah, and
outside,
they
so
lock the door, so that's
yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
super
re-
secure.
No, I'm
Yeah.
down with that because
Yeah.
when I'm putting up canvases, like I was just in where was I in Long Beach not too long ago,
Oh yeah,
and just like 2 weeks ago, and the wind was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I had to
Mhm.
strap everything down to the grid walls, and then strap the grid walls to the canopy legs, and like it became this whole ordeal. So it's nice not having to deal with that.
There
for
you
sure.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
for
Yeah.
sure.
Long Beach. There's so much wind. Every time we do outdoor events in Long Beach,
Mhm.
we have to make sure like, all right, anything paper, we
Gets-
don't set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll
because
fly
otherwise
off.
it just fly away.
Yeah,
Yeah, unless we staple it onto the
Or tape it
table,
down.
or
Yeah,
it's like
Mhm.
yeah, nail it down. But indoor events are always like
Yeah.
primo.
So yeah, that's the next big thing I got coming up is going to be the fair, and then I got the 66 night markets coming up a couple
Oh, yeah,
times
those are cool.
this summer. But best way to follow me is follow my Instagram. You know, I'm always posting my
Yeah.
stories where I'm going to be at. But,
Dodos and Sons.
Underscore.
No,
no, just straight
altogether.
out Dodos and Sons.
Okay, cool.
Dodos and Sons. And
I just put Dodos and it just autofills. So. Like,
Dodo.
It was meant to be a joke actually, because Dodos are extinct. So how are they going to have kids?
There you go.
Right. So, but it's really weird how I fell into that because when we were younger, my sisters used to call me Dodo because they couldn't say Sergio, so they say Dodo. So like it's happened. So that kind of worked.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and yeah, because like your style is very
Childish.
childish. Well, not really child. Also 90s, I suppose. But
We
so
were
you-
children in the 90s.
yeah,
Oh, cool.
technically. Because it's like a mashup of two different styles, or not two different styles, two different genres, right? Because you do caricature mixed into music or album
s-
art and stuff like that.
So I parody on two levels. I parody cartoons with album art, and where it all started was essentially with my diagnosis. I had gotten my foot in the art world, this little industry here with Jesse JFR. Actually, we go way back. We're close friends, and when I was in school, I actually studied to be an accountant. I graduated and everything, and it seemed like a sick joke. 6 months after I graduated, after my first job, I got diagnosed with MS. And if you're not familiar, best way to describe it, it's like it's a frayed wire, going to a speaker.
Mhm.
Your nervous system has insulation going over it, and when it sends messages, it works, But just like a frayed wire on a speaker, sometimes it cracks, sometimes it's fuzzy, sometimes it's staticky. That's basically what MS is. It's an electrical disconnect. So when signals go through, they don't always go through correctly. And on my end, I ended up getting like these super crazy muscle cramps. The entire left side of my body turned into a pretzel.
Oof.
And it took me a couple of months to recover from that. And it was during that time when Dodos and Sons really came together. And I owe credit to Jesse JFR because he actually helped me narrow down something that I could work on. You know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it started off as a team thing, and then just kind of became me. We have the first piece that we did became a collab. It's an Offspring reference for
Mm-hmm.
Ixnay the Hombre with Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
And then that really just kind of that set the fire when we started working on that. That didn't get completed until just about a year ago, or less than a year ago, last summer, actually during the LA County Fair last year.
Oh, really?
That's when we finished that. Yeah.
Oh, sick.
But I had been sitting on that for years, actually. We had been sitting on that for years. The first thing I did when I was actually in recovery was a take on Sublime.
Mhm.
So there's a really strong crossover with the album art and the characters and many of the cartoons out there. So I started recreating the artwork. I combined them. And the first thing I did got me some love from Sublime. And that became a whole thing where I'm actually kind of working on some stuff for those guys, you know?
Nice.
So, well, not for this, for the Long Beach Dub All Stars anyway.
Mhm.
If you're not familiar, it's basically all the Sublime guys. So that was, it got off with a bang. And I just kind of kept doing it, and people are responding well. And it honestly is a good therapy when my health is acting up. It helps me
Mhm.
calm down thinking about or watching the cartoons that make me laugh,
Yeah.
as well as listening to the music I love, you know?
That's
So
really
cool.
cool.
So I keep noticing the click. I keep doing it,
Yeah.
you know, but it's all digital.
Yeah.
It allows me to mess up, allows me to calm down. Like if I get shaky,
Mhm.
like I get, you know,
Yeah.
I could come back to it later.
Yeah.
If I mess up, my hand wigs out, I could delete it, come back to it later.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
For sure. Yeah.
it's a little bit of a cheat, but it allows me to have some fun with this stuff, you know?
That's really cool. Yeah.
Mhm.
And yeah, because the first time we met was when you were, I think you were still going to school to become an accountant, and you were just like helping out Jesse. I
Yeah, and
think it was like a
that's really what
pancakes
I
and booze
was.
in LA or something like that.
Yeah, I would just help out. I was
Yeah.
bored. You
Yeah.
know, when you finish with your schoolwork, it's like, all right, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
A bunch of cool art stuff. Let's go check this out. So I made a bunch of friends, met you guys there,
Mm-hmm.
met a bunch of other people. So I kind of had my foot in the door before Dodo started. You know, I
Yeah.
was just kind of always there anyway.
Mm.
And yeah, it's nice doing my own thing.
Yeah.
You know, as I mentioned, I lost my job because of well, I lost my job because of COVID. Actually,
Yeah.
that's the best way to describe it. You
Yeah.
know?
As a lot of people did on traditional jobs anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And this allowed me to become my own boss and just kind of do my own thing. So
Yeah.
it's been awesome.
Are you gonna fire yourself anytime soon?
Probably eventually. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. It's like I try to do that every day.
I'm going to show up late eventually. Like I'm going to run out of points or something.
Yeah.
What's really crazy is I come from a banking background. I was in banking for like 9 years. And when the financial collapse happened in like 2008, 2009, I ended up back in school and I became an accountant. So like I actually have a financial background, and I ended up doing self-taught art.
That's
So,
and I feel like that's where like true artists can truly reveal themselves, when it's like, okay, like yes, this was my career, but like the art was always in there the entire time, and it's like, okay, now it's able to blossom without, just by itself. It's kind of like, well, not to say it's kind of like a like a wild grass or whatever, that it'll grow on and under any condition, but it's like, well, if it's in there, if it's innate in you, art will show up.
yeah, my mom's always been extremely artistic, so it's something that's been in the family
Yeah.
forever. You know, when I was a kid, we'd do artwork together. She'd help me with my reports and like draw stuff for me. So like art has always been in the
Yeah.
family. She paints still to this day.
Ooh.
Also a therapeutic thing for her because she's got her own health issues.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's really coming through as a solid, healthy alternative to the chaos that is otherwise out there. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But art's always been in the family, and my notebooks were always full of doodles. Like all of my accounting notes, like there's sketches all over the liners. Like yeah, it's just something that I always did, you know. And
That's
then
really cool.
but the Dodos thing is just something completely different than what I've always drawn personally.
Mhm.
You know, it's just like I said, it's just a really fun crossover, and I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying finding these connections.
That's
Yeah,
so cool.
I watch a lot of cartoons.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt to laugh.
As we all should, because you know that they
Dude, the
teach us.
news sucks.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I feel like even like because I remember watching like 90s cartoons and whether it be Looney Tunes, Animaniacs, and whatnot, all
Mhm.
public channel
Right.
cartoons. They always had a message, a positive message in all the
Yeah,
cartoons. So like a moral to follow, and it's
yeah.
like it's
The
fun. Like
wheel of
yeah,
morality, turn,
yeah.
turn, turn. Tell us a
Yeah.
lesson that we should learn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Animaniacs. You
I
know.
was trying to remember what that phrase was.
It's
Yeah.
Animaniacs,
Yeah,
dude.
the
When
Yeah.
they spin the wheel at the end, and it's always some nonsense moral that had nothing to
Yep.
do with anything.
Yeah. But it's still something to think about, you know.
Mm-hmm.
and, versus like modern cartoons that are just action based and like okay,
So
that just entertained our eyeballs. But did we learn something?
it's something that's very different with cartoons nowadays.
Yeah.
Kind of the reason that the cartoons that I watch, like I've watched Naruto, I watched like Yu-Gi-Oh, I watched Pokemon, I watch a lot of that stuff. Pokemon is still really good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But the newer stuff, I'm not a big fan of. You know, these older cartoons, they're edgier. You know,
Yeah.
people weren't so restricted. And this is not something I share too often, but kind of like my whole aspect on the characters that I use, they're characters that are rough around the edges. Like
Yeah.
my first piece was Barney. He's a drunk.
Yeah.
You know, the type of character is
Yeah.
going to be canceled any day now. I did a Jim Morrison reference with Otto from The Simpsons, a bus
Mhm.
driver. And same thing. He's the town drug addict. So like he's another one that is like kind of against the grain nowadays, you know?
Mhm.
And these like Beavis and Butthead. I did a Pink Floyd reference for Wish You
Yeah.
Were Here, Beavis and Butthead. And when I did that like what 4 or 5 years ago when I had first been diagnosed. Actually, it was one of my first couple of pieces. And the whole reason I did that is because they were nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
They were absolutely nowhere. If you look them up on YouTube, a couple of clips here and there, but nothing like what we used to watch when we were younger.
Mhm.
My nephew had no idea who they were, so it's like, you know what?
Oh.
Wish you were Butthead.
Oh.
It just clicked.
Yeah.
And it's a good example of why I do what I do, right? Because if you see that piece, it's very easy to imagine Butthead lighting Beavis on fire. And while he's on fire, you can picture Beavis saying, fire, fire. Excuse me, fire, fire, fire. You know?
Yeah.
So like it just clicks, and it's a solid click.
Yeah.
And yeah, I enjoy it. You know, but these characters, they're the types of characters that wouldn't fly nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, Beavis and Butthead, if it were introduced in today's times,
Ooh.
it wouldn't fly.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't fly. Same with Barney, I think.
Yeah.
You know, because how are you going to introduce a town drunk? All he does is drink and burp everywhere. You know?
Mhm.
So are those the Dodos that are in your name?
In
They're-
a sense.
They're
like
they're the sons of the Dodos.
Yeah, those are the sons of the Dodos that eventually will also go
In a sense.
away.
In
Yeah.
a sense. In a
Okay,
sense.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
down-
So.
I'm putting down what you're picking up.
So I mean, even down to I did a Lady Gaga piece for a friend of mine. It's a mashup with the Jessica Rabbit, right? I call it Drawn This Way.
Yeah.
I did that piece, and Jessica Rabbit really clicked with me because she got covered up on the Roger Rabbit ride. Like
Mhm.
she used to have the red dress on,
Mhm.
and they covered her up, put a fedora on her, like a big fedora, and put a trench coat on her. So it's like you can't even use characters for what they were anymore.
Yeah.
You know? So there's a little bit of commentary underlying, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's all a throwback to stuff that used to make me laugh. Is the biggest thing of it all. You know, people are just so. I mean, things are tense nowadays.
Yeah.
The world out there,
they're
it's
too-
not fun.
Yeah, they're too touchy feely.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's an opinion. You know, it's art. You know?
Yeah, and as controversial as these characters may be, they tickle funny bones,
Yeah.
and that's what it's all about. Like even Paul Kai, Married with Children, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the same thing. Extremely controversial. This stuff
Yeah.
will not fly nowadays, right?
Yeah.
But it is hilarious
It
on
re-
both ends of whatever spectrum you're on. You know, so like that's kind of what I'm getting at is
Yeah.
that it's all in good humor. And then along with that is like, it's amazing music. It's music that's helped me get along through the days when, as I mentioned earlier, things aren't going so well. Music helps me feel better. It helps me escape whatever I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the cartoons get me out of that dark headspace and get me into something that makes me laugh. And when I draw, it just makes it disappear.
Yeah.
You know?
That's really cool. I like that. See, I told you we were gonna throw out most of these questions.
My bad, dude. My bad.
No, it's all good.
I talk too.
So,
You got me
one of my
talking.
questions was like, what old masters did you were you influenced by? Like Animaniacs.
So back to the original question.
Yeah. Yeah. Back to the original question. How
Sure.
are you?
Oh, I'm all right. I'm just kidding.
Like I'm chilling. I'm chilling.
But sure, do you want me to answer that? I can answer that
No.
because I do. I've got tons of like original artists that I look up to. Darker art, actually. Zedzslaw Biskinski, he's one of my all-time favorites. He's dark art, absolutely. Very tragic story with him.
Wait, did you say Zetzel?
Zedzslaw Biskinski.
Oh,
I just put a bunch of Z's on my notes. So
That's what it looks like on Google. It'll find it for you.
Yeah.
But his pieces, like he reimagines like this dystopian world, apocalyptic type scenarios, and like I said, the cartoons are very polar to like my typical self, right? But his work is very inspirational to me because like he invokes imagination. He really invokes imagination. He invokes fear, which is one of those things that to me is very touchy feely for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And similar with Chet Zar, he's actually he is a modern painter. He's known for working with Tool, actually.
okay.
And got to meet him a couple of times. We had a booth next to him when I was helping Jesse out back in the days, and got to meet him. Very inspirational artist as well. If you're not familiar, totally recommend checking him out.
Yeah, we'll definitely put links in the description for sure.
Older stuff, Dali is a given. You know, Diego Rivera. I love Diego Rivera. And honestly, the list can go on and on and on.
So my question to you, since you do parody of cartoon, parody of album art, mix them together.
Mhm.
Would you ever do cartoon and old masters art, pair them together?
It's something I've been thinking about.
Okay.
It is something that I've been thinking about. I've played with the idea. There's some artists that actually, and where I got that idea from is just watching YouTube, not YouTube videos, Instagram videos.
Mhm.
There's artists that'll go to like thrift stores and buy these old paintings and incorporate cartoons into them.
Oh yeah.
It's
Ooh.
like, you know, but these are just like random whatever paintings. And going along the theme of what I do, I like using things that are like, I like reinterpreting things
Mm-hmm.
that means something.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, I would love to do something
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
like in that
Some Michelangelo's like
Yeah.
yeah.
in that vein where like artists go to thrift stores and add. I saw a YouTube video of this one big artist in Australia. he had that challenge, so he went to go buy art from like a Goodwill, but in Australia or whatever.
Mhm.
And then like he'll be like, all right, now what can I add to make it feel like it's part of that painting
Mhm.
without it making it feel like I added to it. So he would like
Right.
kind of like blend it together. So he had maybe like a autumn landscape, and
Mhm.
then he added a dragon kind of like just chilling
Yeah,
somewhere
see, there
in
you go.
there,
Yeah.
but making it feel like it was the dragon wasn't added afterwards, but it was part of the original painting.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
you know, when you're that talented, you can you can make like, you know, blend it to the original artist's style, but kind of like, I don't know, making a Mona Lisa painting, but instead of Mona Lisa, it's like a cartoon character.
Yeah, I have a
Is
strong
that
idea for that one. I don't want to give it away,
No, no,
but yeah,
no,
I have
you
a
go.
very strong idea
But,
for that.
but,
Yeah.
you know-
Hopefully it's not my idea. I was gonna say it's Miss Piggy.
It's not, but there you go. That's a good one.
Like, right?
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got a couple of ideas for some older pieces. It's just I've got a huge pipeline of stuff that I want to finish for Dodos,
Mm-hmm.
and everything's been on hold just because I flared up really bad after the holidays, and I didn't work for about a month and a half actually. So yeah, the wheels just started turning again recently. So
Nice.
I have some pieces I
Yeah.
need to finish for
Yeah.
sure, but I
Take
gotta
your
finish
time.
those taxes first.
Don't rush. Don't.
Even with like all my accounting background, like I got it, but it's so nerve wracking. You know, like it's time consuming.
Just tax deduct everything. Tax deduct the podcast. No, I don't
I'm
know.
down.
It's work. It's work. It's work. It would be.
The drink that you're drinking is tax deductible.
Yeah, because you're using
You're
it
using it
for
for work.
It is
for
work.
Yeah, because it's
That's
yeah.
right. It is work.
'Cause that's what. Who were we talking? I forgot who were we talking.
Yeah, I'm
with an-
deducting $300 an hour, by the way.
Yeah. Sure, why not?
I'm just
Yeah.
kidding, dude.
Because it is. It's you could put it under the marketing category because this is literally it's marketing. It's
Yeah,
it is.
it's media
Yes, it
marketing.
is.
It's,
Yeah, you're
it's-
spending $300.
Yeah, it's like can I have it though? That's the question.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Can I have?
Yeah, you're
Exactly.
you're paying us to be part of the podcast, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You're fired.
Oh, man.
Just kidding.
You're gonna fire yourself. What? You paid what?
See, you asked for this, dude. Yeah, I told you it would happen eventually.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I know, right? No,
This is awful. You're done. You're off the job.
all right. Cool. And then you hire yourself like, oh yeah, I couldn't find anybody else to fill your position.
Yeah, you're the best candidate.
You're the one and only.
I forget. There's this other comedian. He says like, "Oh, it's like I'm my own boss, and my boss is a jerk."
I remember hearing that. I don't remember who it was though.
I don't remember,
Yeah.
But
but it was funny.
But you know, I gotta say, going back to that old question, it's kind of been going in circles. But I'm thinking as far as artists, right? I gotta give credit to all the cartoon artists, obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
The people responsible for Looney Tunes, the people responsible for Animaniacs, people responsible for
For Beavis
Even-
and Butthead.
Dude,
Scooby Doo, Hanna Barbera
Scooby-Doo.
stuff, all that.
shout out to Mel Blanc.
Oh, absolutely, he's the king,
Dude,
the absolute king.
that guy's crazy.
He did so many voices. So this is one of the things that I absolutely love about the Looney Tunes, the golden era of animation, is that a lot of what you see in those cartoons, they did for real in those offices. Like they messed
Yeah.
around with each other. They were a bunch of kids set free with an imagination, and they were paving the road for
Yeah.
everything else.
a lot of people think like, okay, so they came up with a character and then they gave like life to the character. It's
Mhm.
like, no, a lot of times it's the other way around because
Right.
of what somebody did. Like, oh, that's so cool. Now what character can I make with that personality
Yeah.
that you have?
Oh yeah,
Or
sure.
just random things like, oh, we should turn this into a character.
And even with that, like I was watching on YouTube somebody that was doing like a video essay on Chuck Jones,
Oh yeah.
the one of the directors for the Looney Tunes characters,
Mhm.
and Chuck Jones was saying that when he was telling all the artists that were creating characters,
Mhm.
like to obviously read as much as you can, because if you don't have an imagination, your character won't have an imagination.
That's right. Yeah.
And always have the character have limits,
Mhm.
because obviously humans have limits.
Mhm.
So one of the things that he gave an example for, let's say, Bugs Bunny. Like Bugs Bunny, on the first few episodes, he came out kind of feeling like a jerk because he would pick fights, he wouldn't take things and stuff like that. But
Right.
he was able to refine it where it's like he only picks a fight when somebody picks a fight with him.
Mhm.
He became more human, where it's like he's cool and cool. Hey, what's up, doc? And they're like, oh, you're trying to kill me?
Until
Okay,
someone messes
I'm
with
gonna
them.
kill you. I'm gonna
Yeah.
shoot you. I'm gonna mess with you because you're trying to mess with me.
Dude, and that was
And-
the key ingredient right
yeah,
there.
and
right?
it's like give him limits,
Mhm.
because no one is limitless. Otherwise, you become a jerk.
Oh,
You know,
I love that.
If he just picked a fight with everyone just because he could, then he would be a jerk.
Yeah, it takes the fun away from
Yeah.
it. Dude. Yeah.
And then same thing with like Daffy Duck. Like he was greedy, but he had a limit.
Sure.
You know, like
Yeah.
and so every character has to have something, you know, a moral.
Yeah, even
to-
Elmer Fudd, right? And
Elmer
he's the
Fudd.
hunter.
He's the
right?
hunter.
Yeah. So I like that whole spy versus spy element where like
Yeah.
people are just like getting at each other.
Yeah.
And they really hit the nail on the head with all that, you know?
Yeah.
So like yeah, you got to give credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
And
Chuck Jones.
I'm a huge fan of the golden era of animation,
Yeah.
the older stuff with Hanna-Barbera, which I'm going to be making some pieces of as well pretty soon.
No.
I've
Spoiler
been-
alert! I mean, well,
Yeah,
no, as in exclusive. You heard it here first.
I've got some I got a lot of stuff I got to work on. I've got at least 25, 30 ideas floating around in my head.
Yeah.
I've got like 7 or 8 that I sketched out already that I just need to finish already to get to work on.
Yeah.
And
Plus your taxes.
también.
and so, like with that, like, when you do the digital work, do you have a like iPad with Apple Pencil? Do you have a Wacom tablet? Do you have a Cintiq? Do you go computer based or?
Yeah, I use an iPad. The iPad is what allows me to do everything. It's just Procreate. Recently, I've been playing with Fresco.
You have
Okay.
a 18 by 24 inch tablet?
No, I got one of the tiny ones.
iPad mini. iPad mini.
Like, he just has an iPhone with he just has a pen on there.
Dude, one of my first drawings, actually, when I started doing the Barney, right, the first thing that I did, when I first drew that, I drew it as Krusty on my phone. So, because like it's a clown character, right, and Krusty with the Simpsons, but all the beer just don't get me wrong, Krusty's a cool character, but I like Barney so much more.
Yeah, Barney's better.
Like I feel like I identify with Barney more, especially with all the beer everywhere.
Yeah.
The weed on the ashtray and everything.
Oh, Barney!
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I remember when he stopped drinking, he was like he was very proper.
Yeah,
Oh
he was
yeah,
the
he's like a
smartest-
genius. Dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He was, well, that's when they were doing the astronaut training.
yeah, that's right,
He was a genius.
dude. He's extremely intelligent. So yeah, I've had my drinking problems too. Like I identify with Barney. So yeah, I got pretty close to finishing the Krusty piece. I never finished it, but it became Barney, just because I felt like it just clicked a little better with me. You know,
Yeah.
so, yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna finish that one too.
I can do that. But yeah, so you're using iPad and Procreate. You said you were also using Fresco.
Yeah, Fresco's a new one. It's been a big learning curve with both of them. I've never used any type of graphics software or anything like that.
Yeah, because that's Adobe.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend, just to make it easier on to create vector files from. They recently came out with Illustrator for the iPad.
Yeah,
and I feel like, because again, you make pins, you make other merch from that.
Yeah, I always try to reinterpret everything once I finish.
Yeah.
I like playing with the medium.
Yeah. So, because that's usually what I do, like when I'm working with clients, like I'll do a rough sketch on Procreate, just because it makes it a little bit easier.
The AI file, right?
Yeah, and then from there, turn it into a PDF, and then vectorify it. The proper term, vectorify.
Vectorify.
On Illustrator.
Sounds legit.
And then
legit. Excuse me.
like I was part of their beta testing for the Illustrator app for the iPad.
Okay.
And it pretty much it works like the computer app. Obviously, the computer has a lot more functions, but as far as the basics, line work and vectoring everything, it's similar. And I feel like it's a little bit better than Fresco.
Okay.
Because Fresco, like,
it's tedious.
It's tedious,
Yeah.
and it feels more like a Photoshop gimmick
But Fresco's so
with
fresh.
vector files.
Mhm.
But, I don't know.
Fresco is so fresh though.
But yeah,
It really is.
they
I
do
like
have a
the
really
name more
cool
than anything.
watercolor brush though. Fresco does have a really cool
I like
watercolor
Fresca better.
brush. Fresca. I prefer Fanta. Don't you wanna? But yeah. Yeah,
It was such an earworm with that old ass commercial.
yes,
But-
yes, I wanna.
No, yeah. So
Wait.
I would love to learn more about that. But I
Wait,
mean,
which commercial, the Fanta or the Fresca one?
the wanna, don't you wanna?
Oh.
Wanna Fanta.
Because in Mexico, it was all about Fresca, and
Mhm.
they came up with this new flavor, which was like pink lemonade flavor of Fresca, because Fresca is grapefruit, so it's grapefruit plus, or it's pink grapefruit or something like that.
Right.
But there was this one guy just chilling in his
On this couch.
his couch, watching TV. And it's a hot day and everything, and then he's like, Rosa. He's just calling out, Rosa. And then this other one big guy also comes like to him. It's like, wait, is that guy's name Rosa? It's like, no, he just brings him like the pink fresca. 'Cause he just wanted the rose one.
The color.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he just wanted the pink.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, gracias, Mario. And then
Oh yeah. And then there's another one where it's like in traffic, and this one guy is just yelling out, Rosa, Rosa, and this one guy answers like, hey, over here. It's like, here you go, that's 10 pesos or whatever.
Dude, no, I haven't seen those.
No.
No, I
Yeah.
remember the ones with a bunch of girls dancing in a club.
Yeah, yeah.
With soda spraying everywhere
Yeah,
or
the
something.
Fanta girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
But
And speaking of Fanta girls, we're gonna segue. You see, I'm good at those segues.
all right.
Onto the Quick and A. Have you heard of the Quick and A? Have you listened to our podcast?
Quick little rundown, yeah.
How dare you listen to our podcast? That's cheating. No, I'm just kidding. So it's quick questions and answers, and
Okay.
again, quick essence. Yeah, it's gonna take forever for the most part. But we'll do some.
No, they're always super quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are pretty quick for the
Maybe
most
like
part.
a 2-minute segment.
And everything does get graded by us and the audience.
Chingo.
So hopefully you get anything above a D is good.
All right. Do you give extra credit?
No, unless you do our taxes. But so now you know for next year. Get here early.
We'll invite him early.
Yeah. Oh, that is true. Yeah.
Damn,
Yeah,
dude, what
'cause
did I get
you-
myself into? This is the plan all
Free-
along.
Like free CPA. What? No. But yeah. So are you ready for this?
Sure, let's do
So
it.
some of these, the first couple questions are always
The trickiest.
the trickiest, the simplest, the ones that we always do, just to
Okay.
get the ball rolling. Pen or pencil?
I don't like that question.
Ballpoint or gel pen?
Ballpoint.
Have you ever used the fountain pen?
I have.
Why don't you use fountain pens?
They're messy.
You're messy.
Like fountain, one a fountain.
Fountain. Yes. What would you say is your favorite medium?
I really like oil paint, but it's been a long time since I've actually painted with anything legitimately.
I can do.
I mean, you could say digital if you like.
I also like
digital.
sketchbooks. Just
Sketchbook?
regular
Sketch-
pencil.
well, speaking of sketchbooks, do you finish the sketchbook entirely, or do you just buy another one?
Not once have I ever. I always swear that I'm going to do it. I've got different sketchbooks throughout my life with like different themes to them. It's like, oh, this drawing's going to go in this one. It's like a nature sketchbook or like a comic booky sketchbook or like the action shots, But yeah,
You just
I never could
how
finish
many-
them.
How many sketchbooks do you have? Or
I-
do you remember?
There was I have 7 or 8 that I used basically just constantly that I would constantly go back to. But I've had I don't know a couple hundred that are just unfinished. Just like
Nice.
yeah, that's how
couple
you
hundreds
do.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Not that
Yeah,
many,
I don't
but
think
yeah.
I don't think I've ever bought a couple hundred sketchbooks.
No, I think I'm about 30 plus sketchbooks that are unfinished.
That sounds more reasonable.
Yeah,
I'm about
and again, this is in the past 10 years or something like that. So
like
it's
15, 20ish. I don't use a lot of sketchbooks.
oh, I love like if I find a sketchbook, not only that it's on sale, but it also looks cool.
Mhm.
I'm gonna buy it. Like it doesn't matter. Like it looks cool, I'm gonna buy it.
So for me, it's always been like a therapeutic thing. When I used to work at the banks, banking is extremely. I was a phone banker, so like I was basically a therapist for people with financial issues. Yeah, it sucked. So when I get my lunchtime, I would sometimes go to the park around the corner, and there was a 99-cent store around the corner from the
Nice.
office. So I'd buy a cheap little sketchbook, and I don't know how many I bought, but yeah, they ended up
Nice.
in different places. But yeah, that's how I ended up with a
Okay.
lot.
Question for you: how many brand new sketchbooks do you have right now?
2.
Two?
Yeah,
To untouched.
yeah,
Untouched.
hardcover. I bought them at the Comic-Con. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're super cheap.
Yes.
So
I bought one too.
do you know what I'm talking about? It was like an outlet place, a bunch of like sketchbooks.
Well,
and-
I bought it. at Comic-Con they had a booth for art
Just like
art supply warehouse.
all art supplies, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everything's just like super discounted, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I got mine for like $2.50. I'm like, yep.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah.
And it's still like unopened.
Yeah.
I have like 3 or 4 brand new unopened sketchbooks still in their plastic wrap.
Yeah.
It happens, man.
Yeah, no, like I think I have like I think I recently opened one, but I would get some of the smaller sketchbooks that are in packs. They're like maybe
A
20
5
pages,
a 5-pack.
but it's like 5 pack.
Yeah.
More for notes you could put in your pocket or whatever.
Mhm.
And I would buy like 3 or 4 at a time, 3 or 4 that were 5 pack.
Yeah, the packs.
And just to have those and like, oh, like we're gonna go somewhere and I might need to take notes. Like, okay, open a fresh pack and like, okay, cool, I have it.
See, but you are a note taker, so it makes sense that you'd carry the stuff with
Well,
you.
but it's like notes with mainly drawing notes and stuff like that,
Uh-huh.
and then from there, like, okay, cool, I'm done. Yeah, I would just put it back over there, and then like,
Nice, yeah.
oh, where'd it go? Like, I'm oh, cool, I can just get another one.
I
That's
have
a great
2 of
idea.
those, one with 1 drawing, the other one with 3 drawings.
Yeah.
Which one's better?
Neither.
It's like not all sketches are good. By the way, audience members, you got to
Yeah.
remember that not all sketches are good, and that
Yeah.
is okay.
I mean, that's what
It
a
is
sketchbook
okay.
is for. It's just
To
do
mess
random-
up.
Yeah,
random
the-
doodles.
Don't
That-
be afraid to mess up.
Yeah,
Do not be afraid
that
to
is
mess
where
up.
you mess up.
Yeah.
That's where you have the liberty to mess up.
That's why I feel like I cheat with the iPad, because with when my muscles act up and do this thing, like I do feel like I cheat because I could delete, put it down, come back to it. You know,
Yeah.
like
But again, that's
Why
still
don't you-
part of the process.
Why don't you leave those little glitches?
a couple of people told me to do that, and it's not. I understand that because I think I may eventually. I like the idea to maybe just showcase what I deal with. I guess maybe
Yeah,
not
but-
showcase, but,
but-
show what I deal with. Yeah.
But maybe for background, right? Because
Mhm.
you want to have the main characters be, legit good drawings,
Mhm.
and then just have like a little glitches, but maybe in
For the background.
it's like
Just layer it. I like that idea.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
You see all my mistakes.
Yeah, they're happy
I
accidents.
don't make mistakes.
Yeah, they're happy accidents. Yeah.
It's a bird. It's a
Bob-
bird now.
Bob Ross for the win.
So for my drawing, sometimes I like miss the little lines on the neck or miss the mouth or something,
Mm-hmm.
and people ask me like, "Oh, how do you get your lines so perfect? How you don't make any mistakes?" Like, no, I make mistakes. They're somewhere in there, and
It's because you
the-
know.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's like yeah, there's somewhere in there. Oh, can you show us one? And at that time, the drawing that I had or the painting that I had,
Mhm.
that one I didn't miss anything. So I was like, oh, it's like this one is actually like I actually went through like double check
You did okay. Yeah.
to make
yeah.
sure, yeah, because I do have some that are missing mouths or are missing like little necklines
Mm.
or whatever.
Little details
Yeah.
here and there.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I was trying to show the mistakes and like, oh no, I was perfect on that one. I'm sorry.
I get it, man. I get it.
And then speaking of mistakes
Go for it.
that we don't have any, what are you talking about? What is your favorite shape?
A shape?
What's your favorite shape?
That's a weird question.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Let's do a hexagon.
Hexagon?
Yeah, why not?
Why not pentagon? It's too governmental.
Yeah, I don't like the government. Yeah, the government sucks.
Hexagon.
I like the hexagon. 7 corners. It looks.
Yeah,
it'll
it's good.
fit. It reminds me of Tool. It fits on a drum, on a bass drum.
I
Yeah.
can dig that. Yeah. Favorite color?
Purple and green. Do I have to choose one?
No, you don't have to choose one. Now,
kids.
the secondary question for that is, what is your most used color?
Black
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, which is always one of those things that, like, I think we've had a couple artists like, oh, what is your favorite color? It's like, oh, it's red. What is your most used color? Green. It's like, it's always like not necessarily their favorite color. It's like you would think that if it's your favorite color,
That's
you'd use it a
that's
lot.
a really good point because
Right?
drawing the cartoons, you use a lot of skin tones, right?
Yeah.
I don't like the color of skin. I think it's
Yeah.
ugly. Like that rosy color. Like
Yeah.
if it's a cartoon, I like the idea of like Roger from Doug, where the dude's green.
Yeah.
Or like I like that's one of the reasons I like The Simpsons. It's a cartoon. They're yellow.
It's- yeah.
You
they're
know,
yellow.
like That's it's one of those weird little things I thought about a while
the
back. Yeah.
quirks, the quirks of art,
Uh-huh.
of cartoons and whatnot. What is what would you say is your top song to listen to that while you're doing or is it based on what you're working on?
It really depends on what I'm working on. Because we all go through moods. We listen to different music on different days, right? So,
I
like I
listen
said,
to
I'm
the
working.
same song over and over.
Sucks. I'm
Psychopath.
sorry.
listen to-
Lock him up.
I listen to the "I Love You, You Love Me" over and over again, just in case I get like put into where is it?
Guantanamo?
Guantanamo Bay.
It's,
I'm immune.
Baby Shark on repeat, dude.
Yeah.
No. Hell no. No, I go through phases. Like I love tons of music. I've been an audiophile my whole life. It's really weird. Uh, we were talking earlier. Like I ended up doing a bunch of music stuff when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Like I worked for Linkin Park before they were signed. Like I passed stuff out for them. Like I was on street teams with a bunch of other bands, very well known bands too. And I did all that with a friend of mine named Adolfo, like a very close childhood friend, right? But we ended up doing this music stuff, right? And I started working for like no joke, I was street team for System of a Down, Deftones, Audio Slave, a bunch of different bands, right? I was in music videos for Chop Suey, which was the big one. I'm jumping around behind John Dalmayan, the drummer. When the video you were asking me earlier, right? Like,
Yeah.
where am I?
Yeah.
When the video starts, when they're zooming out on the crowd, when everyone's all quiet,
Uh-huh.
my feet are up on the balcony. It's me and my buddy Adolfo right next to each other. And we were thinking, no, let's go up top so you get us, right? No, they just got our feet.
Oh man. Oh man.
But otherwise, it was one of the coolest days of my life, dude.
Mhm.
System of a Down played throughout the day. Like, no joke, it was a 12-hour day. And between shots, they had real instruments and they played a ton of music that I have not heard again to this day.
Oh wow.
It's like it was awesome. It was
That's a
awesome.
trip, yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I've always been in like this music thing, right? And I've always been drawn to music. I've always been drawn to like the culture and everything like that. So it just it depends. Going back to answer your question, it really depends on what moods I'm in. Sometimes I'm in a heavy metal mood. I love hip hop. I listen to a ton of hip hop. You know, I like instrumentals.
Yeah.
Instrumentals help me work actually, like especially like doing the taxes, right? I'm big on RGD2. You know, RGD2 is he's a producer. He just does a bunch of beats.
Oh, I can do that.
It's like the music you hear on How It's Made, like in the background.
Mm-hmm.
It just it helps me. It helps me concentrate and everything.
No.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
But
That's Home Depot. Oh,
well, I mean, they do stuff like
right, right?
Well, I mean, with RJD2, I think what he might be most known for, he did the jingles in the commercials for Wells Fargo.
Oh really?
Yeah,
yeah.
the dun, 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 dun,
Wells
the little
Fargo.
jingle.
Oh,
That's the one.
Yeah.
Wells Fargo. Yum.
Oh, I like speaking of jingles, because again, I had asked Abby, my fiance,
Uh-huh.
I was singing a jingle,
Mhm.
but I would always put the wrong company,
Mhm.
and like it would get to her like, no wait, that's not the right jingle. It's like that's like, and she couldn't remember the actual. Because I was like, oh yeah, dum. Wells Fargo. Like, no, she couldn't figure it out for like a good 30 minutes.
Dude, it's all in good fun, man. I used to do something
Yeah.
similar with Vanessa, and yeah, she started confusing stuff. Like, started thinking she was dyslexic, like anything's back and forth. Which,
Yeah.
but it just happens naturally now. So
Yeah.
What can I say? Maybe we broke something.
Yeah. And then speaking of breaking things and the music,
Yeah.
because you do listen to a plethora
Mhm.
of music, what is the last song that you listened to? Whether it be on your way here or whatnot, like
Linkin Park recently released Meteora, the 20th anniversary edition, and it's got a bunch of B-sides and a bunch of unreleased music on there. And they have a song called "Fighting Myself" that I'm really digging on right now. And there's also some stuff on there from the old demos I used to pass out
Ooh.
that I never thought I'd hear. So that's pretty cool too.
So that's the most recent. Music.
So on the
Yeah.
drive in, I was listening to that song, "Fighting Myself."
Okay,
Yeah.
I can. Yeah.
It's really
Fighting
crazy.
myself.
It's a good song, dude. It's a really good song.
I
And
gotta
you know,
listen to it.
everything's changed so much after what
Yeah.
happened with Chester, right?
Yeah.
It takes on a whole new meaning. It's got like a different weight to it, you know, but it is still some of my favorite music, you know.
Nice. I can dig that. Yeah. And then to do a couple more questions here and there, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
What would you say
Depends actually.
is better? Cats, dogs, or exotic pets?
Dogs. I'm a dog person. Cats are cool, but cats are assholes. However, when Jesse and I had a place together, Jesse had ferrets. And I would love to have ferrets again because ferrets are legitimately a perfect cross between a cat and a dog.
See, that's why you should say exotic pet.
But I'm more of a dog person. Like I grew up with dogs.
Okay.
What-
So
what-
that's gonna lower your grade.
What's your breed of choice for dogs? Like if you could have like any dog breed.
If I could have any dog breed, a black lab.
Black
Black
We used to
lab?
have a black
Ooh.
lab. He got away from us. And, I think about him a lot. Yeah.
Like he knew better. No.
He took
Like, what were you guys doing? Man?
Like he's gonna be known as Dodo. I don't want to be extinct.
No, he got moved and he just freaked out and
Mm.
disappeared onto my sister. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Black lab. I like black.
Yeah. His name was Patches. He was not patchy in the slightest bit.
Oh.
Yeah. But they're extremely intelligent and you feel like they want to talk sometimes. But you
Yeah.
feel that
Yeah.
with a lot of animals, right? But yeah, they got character.
Nice.
I like that.
Mhm.
I like it. Cats is still the correct
correct
answer, but
Well, that's are cool.
but labs are all right. You can do a lot of things with them.
Dude, the reason the cat thing, my mom's actually allergic to cats, so we've never had cats in the house growing up.
David's allergic to
Right.
cats. And
So-
we've had a cat for like 15 years.
Pendejo.
It's not my fault.
But it's not.
My mom got the cat. It's like-
Yeah, but it's not that I don't like cats. I love all animals.
Sure. Now you change your tune. No,
And I want one of the Sphinx ones. I wouldn't mind one of those.
Oh, I gotta show
Yeah.
you a video later.
Yeah. The Sphinx would be really cool.
Yeah.
Hypoallergenic.
There's a video of like two Sphinx cats fighting each other,
Mhm.
and you could just hear the little slaps. you could just slapping each other. It's so funny. I gotta show you. Too.
For sure, man.
I know. And then final question:
I wait.
Krispy Kreme or Hostess?
Hostess.
Yes.
That gives you
That
extra
gives
credit.
extra credit. First person to get
that makes up for
Also,
the dog question.
Yeah.
I mean, Krispy Kreme's good and all, but I feel like it's too gimmicky. Go there on your birthday, though. They give you free donuts.
But I don't want Krispy Kreme.
Just saying.
yeah.
I want some of those the powdered donut holes from Hostess.
Yeah.
I'm old school. I love just like donut holes.
Yeah.
Old school donut holes from a run of the mill donut shop. Like
Oh yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
mean, if you had to choose between those two, then I'll go Hostess and get
Mhm.
like the powdered donut holes or whatever. But like, if for donut shops, I'll probably just go to like a mom and pop donut shop.
because
Instead-
they're bomb,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Just make sure they're Chinese. You're good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not
Well-
racist. You guys are.
Well,
Like,
Well,
like the
the-
donut shop that we've been going to for the past 30 years.
I don't.
They're all my Chinese.
Dude, there's a
And
pizza
are they-
place.
Yeah,
Are they
the-
Chinese?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah. He's Chinese, and
Oh, okay. Cool.
it's like it's the same owner
Mhm.
for the past 30 years. And
Dude, we love that place.
it's
'cause, like,
so good.
especially when we do like super late shows, like
Mhm.
Pancakes and Booze. It ends like
1 in the
2
morning.
in the
or-
morning. We get home.
They're always
they-
there for you.
Nothing's
right?
open except for them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
they're,
don't want Jack in the Box, dude.
like-
Yeah.
No.
they're open 24 hours. You can get
Yeah.
a sandwich from them or donuts or whatever you.
Yeah.
Dude, no, I was gonna say
They're croissant. They're
Dude,
croissant. are
they're
so good.
adaptable. They're like Mexicans, bro. They can make whatever you want really
Mhm.
well. You just got to give them a little bit of space.
Yeah,
You know,
pretty much.
because
Yeah.
there's a place called Giorgio's in Paramount. bombest pizza, bombest subs ever, and yeah, some chino.
Yeah, and that's one of my favorite like
And then the
go-to
Chinese
spots.
places are all Mexican dudes.
It's crazy how that works.
I mean, hardworking people plus hardworking people equals like
Bomb food.
yeah,
food.
it's
a
amazing.
hardworking place.
Yeah.
So it works.
It works out really, really well. But yeah, kind of want donuts now.
I kind of want.
So for
What'd you do?
speaking of donuts, for the LA County Fair, do you want donuts?
I really like the deep fried Reese's, deep fried Twinkies.
Well, no, because I was gonna say it's like because
we're gonna-
that way we can just
Oh, you actually gonna bring donuts?
Just
to take donuts like because
donuts.
like you know how we show up before everything is really open.
All right, but it's got to be from Trejo's Donuts only. That's the only place.
But that's like super far away from us.
That's your problem, bro. I'm just yeah, dude. Donuts are
Okay.
fine. I never had Trejo's Donuts. Actually.
One week we'll take donuts from our spot.
Mhm.
Another week you'll take donuts
From your-
Trejo's spot.
Hostess.
From
Yeah.
Hostess.
yeah. Trejo has hosted donuts.
It's funny. There were these other people like on YouTube. They were talking about like how Trejo has the donut shop now,
Mhm.
and they're like, and one of the guys was like, oh, what is he calling him? Is he calling it Trey Holes? And it's like, oh, he should have. Like,
That's pretty good,
Yeah,
dude.
Trey Holes.
Yeah.
Those are the donuts.
Yeah, trademark that if he's
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah.
He's
Hey,
gonna come
that-
out with his
that-
own like donut hole.
No, I
Danny-
said we should trademark it and then sell it to him.
Yeah.
Danny Trejo, if you're listening,
It's ours.
yeah,
Thank you for
Thank you.
listening.
yeah, thank you for listening. But that's $100,000 if you want that name.
Also, do you want to be part of the podcast, please? Thank you.
Hell yeah, that'd be dope.
Also, we took it from that other content creator that he didn't monetize on it.
I know, but speaking of monetization, you see, I'm good at segues,
Uh-huh.
as you can tell.
Wow, you're really good.
I would say, thank you for participating.
Mhm.
That's
you
what
for
I
having
would
me.
say.
Oh, well, chinga
I will say, thank you for answering all the quick questions that we set out to answer.
Sure.
And I don't know, what would you grade him on?
Solid B.
A solid B?
Solid.
Solid B?
All right, all
I
right.
can
It's
dig
like
that.
it's like no holes or anything, just solid.
What if
Solid.
I would have brought donuts?
It would probably been like an A minus.
Okay. It was the cat question, wasn't
It
it?
was a
was
cat
a
question.
black
You,
question, for
you
sure.
saved it with the hostess, but
But-
it's always like I don't know why we haven't had an artist say cats.
What?
Like,
I'm not the only one.
Yeah,
So
it's
everyone's
like-
got to be so far.
Everybody.
Yeah, nobody's gotten an A because of the cat question.
Everybody.
It's like everyone
Oh,
fails.
spoiler alert! If you didn't listen before,
Well,
nobody's gotten an A.
Yeah,
No, so you got to grade on a curve. The B's are actually A's, dude. And what's happening here is the cat's making it C's.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Cats.
C for cat.
It's all about cats. But yeah, and audience members, comment what grade you give him, because obviously, like whose line, the points do matter or points don't matter. What was
Points
it?
definitely matter.
Points definitely matter for something. And but yeah,
Cool.
thank you for being part of this show. And we're gonna segue again. Good at it. I'm getting better. Onto a quick commercial break.
Yeah, dude, that was fun, man.
Yeah.
I didn't get all your questions. I talked too much, huh?
It's all good. But yeah, if anything, let's do a quick because I do want to ask just one last question.
Sure.
Which we could do right now. Hello and welcome back to the show. See,
Welcome
good at
back.
segues. I'm
Oh,
really
hey,
good.
hey.
I'm getting better at them. And yeah, because one of the things we always talk about and we always want to share is the artist journey.
Sure.
Because obviously, like as artists or as humans, we're living this life, and the path is always never set for us, but we have a goal.
Right.
So in the artist journey, where do you see yourself? Like, where are you in that journey right now?
I'm having a lot of fun with what I'm doing. I feel like I found some steady footing with what I want to do. As far as how long I want it to go on, I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. But I've gotten a ton of good responses. So for now, this is what I'm doing for a living, you know. So I would like to expand. I would like to do more work. I would like to work with some more bands, you know. I'm also opening my doors to like help produce pins for other people as well, you know. So yeah, I mean the doors are open. There's no real set path for what I'm doing with this. I'm just kind of figuring it out right
You're
now.
just going with the flow,
Going with the flow of
going
things
with
right
that,
now.
and I feel
I
like
mean,
that's the best way to do it.
I mean that's how it started.
Yeah,
You know, it really is how it started.
yeah,
As I mentioned earlier, it came from a therapeutic thing at first, and it just kind of kept happening, and it's becoming more serious. Like
yeah,
I've got enough pieces to the point where like people they're they're digging it, and
yeah.
it's coming together as an artistic venture, which is what it is. You know, so
That's pretty dope. And
mhm,
and do you have any tips? Like, if you can give a new artist or someone who's trying to do what we're all doing,
mhm.
what tip would you give them?
Just jump in the pool. You just got to jump in the pool sometimes. I was very hesitant to get this started as far as like going to booths and making sales and everything like that, and actually putting my artwork out there. But you never know the response you're going to get until you actually get out there and try putting it out there. And honestly, it's really opened up the world, my perspective, to a different world out there. So I think that's pretty cool. As far as being a new artist, it's very important to allow yourself to make mistakes. Mistakes are part of the art, I think. Um, Paint goes over paint. You know, you learn with every brushstroke. The more you work on stuff, the better you're going to get at it. The more comfortable you're going to get with it. Um, and don't be so hard on yourself. That's probably one of the biggest things. You got to be kind to yourself. You know, if you're not too happy with something, whatever, move on to the next one. Come back to it later. Maybe reimagine it later once you thought it over some more. But never forget that art is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
It's always in the eye of the beholder. Whatever you think is junk is treasure to someone else, and it's really crazy the way I've come to experience that too, because it's enlightening.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Very
I
nice.
like that. Very, very philosophical, very to the point for sure. And because
Yeah.
it's true, you know, and sometimes new artists have to hear that truth and like just stop overthinking. Like just,
And I'm an overthinker.
yeah,
I am, you
exactly.
know,
Yeah,
especially with this whole diagnosis that I've had. It's just it's hard to not think. And cartoons get me out of that train of thought. Like I
yeah,
was saying earlier, it gets me into like a funnier perspective of things, where something could be tragic. Looney Tunes did something to make it funny, and it helps shine that light on these things, you know. So yeah, I think it's very important to allow yourself to be open to these things,
yeah,
you
for
know.
sure.
And then as far as like learning these computer programs, same thing. Don't be afraid of them. I didn't know what I was doing when I first started. I just jumped in. I started pushing buttons. I messed up a lot. I was discouraged a lot. But don't be afraid to play around, because you can always start over, push those buttons again. You know. So yeah,
Yeah.
have fun with the stuff.
Yes, I like that. Yeah, because it is true. Like you don't start running. You start by crawling, then walking, then
Hmm.
running, yeah,
Falling,
then
Yeah,
falling. A lot
then
of falling in between,
then getting back up.
and but yeah, getting back up
and
for
you don't
sure.
even need to start with an idea, to be honest. You can start off just by hold the pencil up and just like scribble and see what comes out of it. And if you see shapes, add to those shapes. You know,
Mm-hmm.
add some detail to it. Maybe it turns into a person. Maybe it turns into an object, or maybe nothing. You know, but like maybe it's just an exploration of color. You know,
Yeah,
or line work. You know, just it all adds up, and it's all going to add to your, I guess, your internal repertoire, your learning curve. You
yeah,
know,
for sure.
and it's all going to help you feel more comfortable with anything you're doing. You know,
Yeah, and also do your taxes.
también.
Always back to the taxes. And if you could give a shout out of a couple artists,
Sure.
who would you shout out?
Well, Jesse JFR for sure. Um, he helped me figure out my bearings when I first got sick, and I owe a lot of credit to him for sure. I worked with him on the Sublime pin. I worked with him on that first collab piece that got set aside, you know.
Hmm. Hmm.
But it all started right there. He helped me. He really helped me find my footing when I got diagnosed, and I owe him a lot of credit for that. Um, Another artist for sure is Opie Ortiz, the artist for Sublime. He was very open and receptive to the to me basically putting a spin on his artwork, and it lit the fire underneath me to continue doing this. And since then, I've gotten love from a lot of other bands out there.
Nice.
So that's been pretty cool. Um, Chet Zar for sure. I mentioned him earlier. Within the community, though, I think it's very important to recognize Eddie Lee. Eddie Lee is an
Yes.
absolutely fantastic artist.
Eddie.
Eric's art, Arix. That guy is absolutely amazing.
Also true.
Noah Stern, he does a lot of stuff with the mashups like I do. I think he's absolutely amazing as well. So we've got some gold out there. There's some
Mm.
people in this community that it's their gift is absolutely spectacular. Yeah, so you just got to come out to the shows. I mean, it's like carnies with us. I mean, we circle each
true.
other. It's a lot of the same artists, but
Yeah.
these are just the few that have caught me since I've been doing this for this past couple of years. But Andy as well. Like seriously,
Don't say my name.
nah, for real, bro. You're killing it. Like you found your footing as well. I saw where you started. I see what you're doing. Like it's badass, dude.
Thanks.
No, for real. You too, man.
Well, what I
Dude
do?
is killing it too, man.
I'm just juggling. I'm juggling.
Juggling his art, man. I see you doing what you're doing. But all of you guys, man, it's all been inspirational to me. Ella Mella, that's another big one for me. She's been extremely.
Hello,
been
why are
big.
you so far away?
I know,
right? She left us. But if I left anyone out there, I mean, who else? Cutie. Cutie is also another one that that was very helpful in the beginning. Leanne Him. Not exactly sure how to say her last name, but Leanne is amazing too. Yeah, dude, there's so many artists out
We
there.
have a good group of artists, friends.
Yeah, a
that
good
just
family for sure.
inspire each other. So
We
cool.
do. A lot of it's about the grind, but a lot of it is also these people are gifted. Like
Yeah,
they're
that for
individually
sure.
gifted, and when everyone comes together, beautiful stuff happens.
Yeah,
You know,
Mhm.
so
and even with that, with the grind, because all these people are gifted,
mhm.
they're there and they're always with a big smile.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like no matter how tired we are at the end of the show, we're always cracking jokes. We're always making each other laugh, and like, okay, cool. See you on the next one.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
yeah.
and whenever we meet up again, it's like we never left each other, dude.
Pretty
it's
much,
Like,
pretty
it's
much.
like another day of work, you know.
Yeah.
But the coworkers we choose to have,
Yeah,
so that's really cool.
yeah.
You're not stuck next to someone in a cubicle that's like, oh, dude, I
Like,
gotta do this all day.
Yeah,
You know. But so yeah, cubicle life is no more, dude. This has been a hell of a lot more fun.
It's Bears. Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, that.
yeah. No, it's like it's not cubicle life. It's 10
What
by
is
10
going
booth
on
life. it's booth life. Yeah, booth life.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. But just like you said earlier, smiles, bro.
Yeah,
The smiles legitimately keep me going. There's days when I go out there and I'm not feeling it at all because the MS thing, the way people describe energy levels, they call it spoons, basically batteries. You have 5 spoons for the day. You use 1 spoon to get ready in the morning. You need 1 spoon to get ready for night. So it leaves you for 3 spoons throughout the day. So if you do anything vigorous, it's going to use up more than 1 spoon. So that's kind of the trick to it for me is, especially with what we're doing now, is like you'll see me up and about, but I also burn out and I'll sit down for a little
Yeah.
while. So like if anyone sees me when I'm burned out, I apologize. Give me a few minutes. I'll be all right.
yeah. Bring him some water.
But these
like
smiles
some
though,
chips,
that
yeah.
keeps me going.
Yeah.
That helps juice up my batteries.
Nice.
Like for real.
Let's do it. Let's continue doing it. Again, thank you so much for
Thank you
being
so
a part of
much,
the show,
guys.
dude.
Appreciate the love, man.
It-
Always
it's-
fun.
thank you for
always
having me.
fun.
Yeah, it's always fun to just chat and now it's even better because now we are exchanging more than just art talk, and
Oh, for
and
sure.
hopefully it always you know how like you get energized, like I get energized by listening,
Mhm.
and hopefully the audience also can get energized and be creative and be kind and just make art. Make
Art is
art.
therapy.
Yeah.
Art is life. Music is life.
Yes, coffee is life. Wait, what? No, but
Weed.
yeah. But again, thank you for being part of the Lardist podcast. And you've been listening to the Lardist podcast. And if I can't segue anymore, it's because it's the end of the Lardist podcast. Thank you so much.
Later, you guys.
Bye.
Do I have a jingle? You have been listening to the LA Artist Podcast. Feel free to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss the latest episode. You can see bonus content on our Instagram at Lorano Gallery, as well as our website, loranogallery.com/podcast. Stay creative, keep creating, and no matter what, be passionate about your art.